It's the Behind the Shades show.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Behind the Shades. Anton Daniels, we just can't seem to get enough of this guy. He is the story that keeps on telling and the gift that keeps on giving. Now he's caught up in this new drama with his co-host, Micca. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys the beginning of how all of these rumors started.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes of what's been out there. Mm-hmm. So I understand that Anton is married. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're married?
Correct.
Correct. Have you met Anton's wife?
Yes.
How would you describe her?
She's when I say probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, that lady is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And has Anton met your husband?
In person, absolutely not.
He has not met him in person. Has he met him over the phone or in DM? What other form of introduction when you say not in person?
Because a lot of people assume that, when you have to see people, it has to be in person, or that if you don't meet them in person, then it's something or whatever. So
I'm saying, what's the form of communication? That he met your husband?
They don't have a form of communication where they talk back and forth.
Yeah. But you said he did not meet your husband in person.
No. Is
that to imply that he met him virtually?
No.
So he's never met your husband?
No.
And why is that?
No particular reason.
Sure.
Just I've never had to actually do anything where my husband was there.
You're already caught lying. Why lie? You said that he hasn't met him in person. That implies that he has met him in some other fashion. Text message, virtually, in a DM, whatever. That's why he asked that follow-up question. And then you said that he hasn't met him. So why is it that you think it's okay for you to meet his wife, but it's not okay for him to meet your husband? Yes, people may assume that when you say that they haven't met, it's in person. That's how people still meet these days, right? There's a reason why he hasn't met your husband. You know why. He knows why. Now, we all are beginning to see why. Because if you're having that type of a relationship with someone where you're working with the opposite sex or even with the same sex, eventually you, the person that's at that job, would want to bring their partner around. Unless, two reasons. Something is going on, or you're not proud of the person that you're with. You can keep business and personal separate. I'm a big proponent of that. But you want your spouse, you want your partner to know where you work, what you do, and how it looks like. See, here's the thing that people forget. From a woman's perspective, you want them around because they can see things that maybe some men can't see when it comes to other women. From a man's perspective, you want them around because they can see things that maybe women can't see. Because in general, and this has been studied, men will overestimate the attraction that they get from other people, and women will underestimate it. And that could be for a number of reasons. But let's listen to what else Micca has to say.
How long have you and Anton been business partners or friends?
We're business partners. And
so you're not a friend, because I don't want to provide language that's inaccurate.
That's why I changed it.
Yeah.
We're business partners, absolutely.
You're not friends?
No.
Okay.
Friends would imply that we hang outside of business.
Not necessarily. Well, yes, correct.
Yeah, like
outside of business.
Yeah,
correct.
like not. We were, me and you, we're shooting here, and then we just get something to eat afterwards, but we are doing business.
Yes.
I'm saying, hey, are you up? Are you available today? Or you want to go out to the blah blah blah?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Do you believe it was important at some point for you to introduce your husband to Anton?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure his wife thought it was important to meet you.
I can't speak on what his wife thought.
Correct.
But the one time that I would have is when we had an event here, but he had to work. So, I mean.
But have you made it a concerted effort to make it happen? We do what we want to do, when we want to do it, for whom we want to do it for. And if something is really important to you and your family, either on your end as a wife, you absolutely make a concerted effort for this man, or
go ahead,
or Anton as a man says, I want to meet your husband just because you're married, and I don't want any messaging or anything else to be misconstrued by him or the public. So it's fair that I introduce myself. Has that conversation happened?
No, that conversation has not happened. And I understand what you're saying. My thing, again, my business dealings is normally with me, my manager, things like that. But it's not without my husband knowing. So everything that I do, every place that I go, everything that I'm going to be doing, my husband knows. And I have to actually talk about it with him, tell him what I'm doing, things like that.
He makes a good point where he says that if it's something that you wanted to do, you would make time for it. We have a choice in what we do and what we don't do, but often we blame our circumstances, saying that, well, it's business, they don't want to be there. It's business, they don't want to hear about it. Anton and his wife, no matter what was going on, was able to make the time, day, and effort to make it happen. The question is, why can't you? What are the obstacles that is preventing Micca from having her husband there for a few hours? That's what she has to let everyone know. And that's a question that I wish was followed up, because when she went back and said it was going to happen that one time and something came up, that sounds like an excuse. Because if you guys were supposed to meet the Thursday, why couldn't work the Friday? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Or better yet, the next time you're flying out there, why don't you fly out there on a day where your husband is free and you all go out there and he could watch how the show goes. He can see the interaction. You see, what's happening here in the way she's saying these things is that, well, I have a limited window that he can be there. If he can't make it, he can't make it. I'm not willing to bend and I'm not willing to yield. This is your partner. If he exists, because we don't even know that, but this gentleman here is confirming that they've met. So we're going to say that he does exist. If he does exist, why wouldn't you want him around to observe the great work that you're doing, all of your contributions, all of your glory? That's where it's confusing. Because not only are you separating your partner from your work, it sounds like you're keeping him away from it. That is a concern. And the strange thing about it is, I don't think she realizes that. I honestly believe that she's naive enough, foolish enough, or maybe just outright lying. She doesn't see an issue with that. She has all these other men around this part of her life, and her husband's on the other side of the fence. Men want to know what's going on with their women, especially when they're in a male-dominated industry. It goes back to my earlier point. We can pick up on things that they can't because they underestimate the amount of attention that they're getting. They don't see what we see. And maybe that's the real reason there, because if we were to come around and observe something, point it out and then go back to her. Now she's in a position where she has to acknowledge it. And if she has to acknowledge it, then maybe she has to address it. And maybe if she then addresses it, she may have to make a decision. And I think that's where this all hangs on, is that she's avoiding making that decision because she knows that she may not make the decision that's right for the family, but may make the decision that's right for her and her career. But let's see how she further explains this.
A lot of people sometimes misconstrue is this. You guys separate for some reason, independent from like big conglomerates, right? So if there's a person that has a business,
Sure.
it automatically changes from if Disney calls you, right? Because there have been other things that I have done as far as movie sets and other things that my husband has not gone to, and nobody would bat an eye if I'm talking to the director or if I'm going to meet, for a shoot for this or that. Your spouse is not always coming, and so I think the notion that just because it's this person, and I understand that people have their own thoughts and perceptions of people, but I think a lot of the times when it comes down to people who are in independent media, they think it's more of a personal level, and still it's business.
Yeah, but I think what people may feel befuddled or confused by is at some point you put the business aside when rumors are brewing, when images are plastered all over social media.
Now you're talking about a year later.
Okay, so before a year later, let me ask you this. Has there ever been a concern from your husband about your business relationship with Anton?
My business relationship, absolutely not. Because one, he can watch it. Like he can literally sit there and watch it. And then two, if he has a concern or anything he wants to know, I just tell him.
Has he ever been incredulous? Skeptical?
What?
Yeah. Has he been
though?
With your flying out there, or depending on how long you stay, or just the mere fact that I never even met this person? Has he just had that sort of incredulity, if you will, about not meeting your male business partner?
So I think he would like to be, more involved with coming out there. But again, and you know what my husband does for a living.
Sure.
So it's not feasible.
No, it's feasible because here's how I see it. If Anton has to get on an airplane and come and meet your husband out of respectability, then that's what a man does.
I will say this. Where there is an effort to do something, you usually get it done. Think of weight loss, a new job, a new car, a new purchase. If you want it bad enough, you will make it happen. Some people will work very long hours for that purchase. Some people will train and go to the gym twice a day to make it happen. Micca is trapped between two things: family life and work life. She's trying her best to balance both. She's trying her best to juggle both. It's like spinning plates on a stick. She's using her arms to spin them and spin them and spin them, hoping nothing comes crashing down, but she will eventually get tired. Something will break. A plate will crash. She will have to give up something because you can only walk that line for so long. The rumors are starting. People are starting to doubt it. People are starting to question it. And her giving these types of answers doesn't help her situation. This interview could have been done in 2 minutes. He asked a question. He could have said, you know what, tomorrow my husband's actually coming out. He's going to stay the weekend there. We're going to film. He's going to be a part of the show. He's going to watch it. He's going to observe. We're going to talk about it, then we're going to go home. Everything that she shares with her husband is coming from her perspective. So, is she leaving things out? Maybe. Is she telling the complete truth? Maybe. But if she comes across as secretive in the interviews that she does, why should we believe that she's not secretive within her household? It's her perspective, her lens, her filter. The men are seeing something else, and that's why they're mentioning it to her. And because she's not able, or she's not aware enough to see it for it is, she gets confused. And she said, well, it's a business relationship. Okay, then why are all these other things happening? Why are you meeting doing non-business things when it's only a business relationship? Why are you doing things that are reserved for couples with a man that's married while you are still married? That is the question that needs to be asked. And this is something that we all can learn from. We can learn that we are responsible not only for how people view us, but how people view our relationship and our partner. That is the responsibility and the accountability of every single person in a relationship. It's not about you anymore. It's about us. It's about the relationship. And the relationship will always be above the two people in it. The hierarchy is the relationship, the two people in it, and then everybody else. And everybody else is a distant third. Your job doesn't come before the relationship, and it doesn't come before the people in it. Because men will only commit to women who aren't committed to something else. And she's torn. You can't serve two masters. She's unevenly yoked. There's all these terms for it, because what it basically means is this. You will have to make a decision to find out and continue, where are you going to continue to pour your time, energy, and resources in? Is it going to be your career, or is it going to be your family?